The music was loud, the laughter even louder. Champagne sparkled in tall flutes, heels clicked across the marble floor, and the bride looked like she'd walked out of a fairy tale. But at the very back corner of the ballroom, near the large flower display everyone passed without noticing, sat a girl in a wheelchair, still, quiet, and entirely forgotten. No one looked her way. No one invited her to dance. No one even asked if she needed a drink. Until he did. David walked into the wedding holding the hand of his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. He wasn't supposed to be here, not really. He was only a distant cousin of the groom and had nearly declined the invitation. But Lily had insisted on going to a real fairy wedding, so here they were, him in a suit he hadn't worn since his wife's funeral, and Lily in a puffy white dress that made her spin like a ballerina. As David scanned the room, his fatherly instincts caught something others missed, a stillness that didn't belong. Amid the laughter and chaos, one girl remained utterly alone, her hands folded neatly on her lap, her wheelchair almost hidden behind a tall arrangement of roses. She couldn't have been more than 14 or 15. David leaned down to Lily and whispered, "See that girl over there?" Lily nodded. "She looks lonely. What do you say we go say hi?" The girl's name was Ava. She'd been in a car accident just over a year ago, and since then, everything in her life had changed. Her legs no longer moved, and most days, her spirit didn't either. Tonight was her cousin's wedding, a family event she hadn't wanted to attend. But her mother insisted it would be good for her. It wasn't. She felt like a burden from the moment they arrived. Her dress felt too tight, her wheelchair too wide for the venue. People smiled politely, but no one really talked to her. She was placed far from the dance floor, not close to her family, as if she might somehow ruin the joy by being visible. The worst part? She understood. No one knew what to say to her anymore. Until David and Lily walked up. David crouched beside Ava's wheelchair and said warmly, "Mind if we sit with you for a bit?" Ava blinked in surprise. No one had asked her anything all evening. "Sure," she whispered, unsure if she remembered how to make conversation anymore. Lily immediately plopped herself down on the carpet and asked, "Do you like princesses?" "Because you look like one." Ava smiled. A real, genuine smile. That moment broke the ice. David and Lily stayed with Ava the entire evening. They brought her cake. They told her jokes. Lily even tried to teach Ava a seated version of a TikTok dance. At one point, David looked around the room and asked out loud, loud enough for others to hear, "Why is she sitting alone?" People turned. Some looked embarrassed. Some looked confused. And some simply didn't know what to say. Over the next hour, something began to shift. The bride, seeing David and Lily with Ava, walked over and hugged her cousin. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "I didn't mean to forget you." That opened the floodgates. Relatives came by, kneeling beside Ava's wheelchair to talk. The DJ played a slow song, and Lily begged Ava to join her in a dance. David helped wheel Ava to the center, and what followed stunned everyone. Lily twirled and spun, while Ava clapped and laughed, her face lighting up like the chandeliers overhead. For the first time in over a year, Ava didn't feel broken. She felt seen. Later that evening, Ava's mother approached David with tears in her eyes. "She hasn't smiled like that since the accident," she said. "Thank you. You did in one evening what months of therapy couldn't." David shook his head. "It wasn't me. It was Lily. Sometimes, kids see what adults forget to look for." But deep down, David knew the truth. Sometimes it only takes one person to ask a simple question to change everything. Why is she alone? A few weeks later, Ava wrote a blog post about her experience. It went viral. She talked about how loneliness doesn't always come from being physically alone, but from being emotionally invisible. Her story sparked conversations across social media about inclusion, compassion, and how kindness isn't complicated, it's a choice. And David? He kept in touch. He and Ava exchanged letters and shared stories. Lily now called Ava her wedding bestie. 1 year later, at another family wedding, Ava wheeled herself confidently into the room, and this time, she wasn't hidden behind flowers. She was the flower. Moral of the story. Sometimes, it's not grand gestures that change a life. It's the courage to notice someone who's been forgotten. We all walk past someone like Ava every day. Be the person who stops. Be the person who asks, why is she alone? Because that one question might just change everything.